A game of tricky ice, incredible stats, and plenty of wonderful shots. It's the final of the 2025 Scotties Tournament of Hearts. We have an unbeatable looking Team Homan up against Team Einarson. Homan is the reigning champion wearing the maple leaf as Team Canada. She's a three-time Scotties champ and has won 92% of her games over the last 2 seasons, along with the 2024 world title. Team Homan carries a perfect record into the Scotties final, the firm favourites to take it. Team Einarson, with the Manitoba colours, lost to Team Homan in the 1-2 page playoff game and had to beat Nova Scotia's Team Black in the semi-final to make it here. Einarson's team has been shaken up recently, with Brianne Harris the subject of a now cleared doping investigation, and Shannon Bachard out due to injury. Longtime fifth Kristen Karwacki has been playing lead for the past year, and new addition Carly Burgess is in at second. All are very talented players, but they have limited experience playing together, especially compared to Team Homan. Einarson lost 2 games during pool play. It's a big ask to overcome this dominant Team Homan. In the first end, Team Homan starts with hammer and yellow stones, with Team Einarson throwing red. Team Homan is using gold line brooms here, so you could question if they're going to use the new black firm foam. We did see them using the white foam earlier in the week, so we can assume that that's what they're using here too. Einarson is using hardline brooms, so they don't have the option available. First end is an easy blank for Homan. The team's trading hits. This could be to bank time, break in the ice, or maybe just to settle a few nerves easing into this big game. Homan did comment in the first end that the ice was straight. It seems the ice makers have been having some issues throughout the week, but hopefully it won't impact the final too much. Second end, and we have a textbook setup from both leads. Einarson, without hammer, puts up the centre guard and wraps around. Homan, with hammer, gets up a corner and buries one behind. Perfect start from both teams. Team Homan miss a couple of run-back attempts. This allows Einarson to sit 3 with a centre guard up, putting some pressure on Team Homan. But here comes Fleury with a beautiful run double, called and made. Homan elects to play the run on her first. They also considered wrapping the centre, but the run made more sense. It was made almost perfectly, with them just showing a little piece out from the guard. And that was just enough for Einarson to pick it out, leaving her team sat 2 on the wing. They are open, but Homan draws to take a single rather than trying the risky blank. Great end from Einarson, putting some pressure on Homan and getting the force out of it. Third end, Einarson has hammer for the first time this game, and she chooses to wrap Homan's centre guard. Homan then freezes on top, another clinical opening from the 2 leads. A little bit deeper into the end, Burgess tries the freeze around the centre, but it's heavy and bounces off, giving Team Homan a pretty routine double. Fleury hits the top stone a little high, however, and stuffs it, giving Einarson a chance to eventually score her 2. Fleury tries to take on the slash double, but wrecks on the guard, bringing a potential score of 3 into play. Homan needs 2 doubles to get out of this end in good shape. Sweeping draws to a great spot, there is no simple double for Homan to also keep their shooter shot stone. She makes the double perfectly, and Einarson draws open. This leaves 2 tough double options for Homan, the tick or the slash. She chooses to play the slash and makes it perfectly. It's difficult to throw, call, and make those shots, and perfectly demonstrates Rachel Homan's class. Saves her team this end from giving up multiple points with 2 absolutely fantastic shots. Einarson has the easy blank. In the fourth end, Einarson wanting to convert the hammer here, she sets up with 2 draws around Homan's centre guard, electing not to play the corner. On Miskew's second stone, it seems there was a misread of the angles, and the called double is not made. This leaves an opportunity for Einarson's multiple score. Sweeting's second stone doesn't quite curl up enough to make the double. This leaves Homan with a double, which is made. Her team are now sat first, third, and fourth shot, leaving limited access to shot stone. Einarson misses the straight back double, allowing Homan to nose the 2 on the wing. Team Homan sits 3 and Einarson is forced to take her single, bringing the score to 1-1. In the fifth end, and Karwacki is a little deep on her second. This allows Wilkes to freeze. Burgess is also heavy, and Miskew makes them pay, with an angle freeze on the button. Team Einarson has only one option, and that's to blast their way out. Burgess makes a stunning run and gets everything moving, making up for her first shot. Sweeting's first stone, she rolls perfectly, setting up great angles for her team. This would end up saving the end. Fleury undercurls on the nose attempt, and it suddenly looks like Team Homan should be getting forced. Einarson plays a lovely hit and roll, frozen whilst avoiding the jam, and she secures the force for her team. On her final stone, Homan hits to take her 1, leading 2-1 into the break. This means Einarson will carry the hammer into the even ends in the second half. This makes the team's positions pretty equal at this point. Sixth end, and Einarson decides to put up a corner as usual. We don't get to see all lead stones, so we're not quite sure how we got this setup. Miscue wraps the centre, but comes up a little heavy to back button. Still, Einarson want to open it up. They manage to open up the centre, rolling the shooter out to the wing, but they don't catch either stone in the house. Sweeting overrolls her hit, as did Fleury on the previous shot. Both teams seem to be struggling with the ice running straighter than expected. This is the first end after the break, so that could have something to do with it. A little later in the end, and Homan is sitting wide and flops out slightly. Einarson wants to score 2 here rather than accept the blank, and tries to bury behind the corner, showing a piece, hopefully to set up a jam. Homan, as expected at this point, picks out Einarson's stone. She did shout falling during her shot, again seeming like the ice is running a little bit straighter than expected. Einarson makes her easy blank out. In the seventh end, with Einarson maintaining hammer, it seems that the ice may be slowing, with an unclean stone reading 13.5 to T. Both teams are happy playing around the centre. Miscue comes in with a perfect hit and flop under the centre, sitting top 4. This forces Einarson to open up, and I'm sure she would be happy blanking again. She could then have 2 scoring opportunities in the 8th and the 10th with hammer versus Homan's 1. Einarson continues ripping and tries to run with Val Sweeting. She fails to kill both the yellows in the house, which is now seeming a little bit dead. Fleury hits back with a draw around the centre to back button, setting up a great opportunity to force. Interestingly, on Homan's first, she didn't roll behind cover and she's not happy with the outcome. To me, that shouldn't be awarded 100%, but TV stats will be TV stats. Eventually, Einarson is forced to draw the button on her last against 2. She's heavy, giving up a steal of 1 to Homan's team. Still, with 2 and 8 and a force in 9, Einarson still has a shot at winning the game. 8th end, and Homan starts with putting 2 stones in the house. Einarson then puts up a corner. Karwacki noses on her roll attempt, maybe throwing too little weight. Homan opts for the aggressive call, guarding the centre stones. It looks like the sweepers were on the stone early and the line added some weight, resulting in the guard being too deep. Burgess makes a really nice shot to capitalise on the mistake, rolling wide into the rings. Miscue then seems tight on her hit, rolling out. Burgess then makes another great shot, a split, rolling behind the corner with no double left. But the great shots keep coming. Fleury chases around the guard for Homan to sit 2 with no easy double left. Sweeting, trying to roll under the corner, overcurls and ends up nosing. This leaves a simple double back for Fleury, which is made, setting up Team Homan to force. But Einarson wants to get her 2, so she decides to wrap the corner and hopes to be left with a double for 2, with her last stone. However, Homan is having none of it, and draws to the ideal spot, leaving there no double without stuffing. Einarson has to draw the 4-foot with her 1, but comes up way light, conceding a steal of 2 to Team Homan. Kerry Einarson is understandably very frustrated here, and she knows that she might have just lost the game with that miss. 9th end, and Homan is in defence mode, playing into the house and trying to defend their advantage. Einarson puts up 2 guards, trying to get some junk in play to create chances for her team. Homan wants to start peeling guards, opening up as soon as they can, but Emma Miscue misses with a nose hit. Regardless, Homan keeps calling hits on dangerous reds hanging about. Sweeting tries to nose Homan's stones to stay sat on top of them, but overcurls and rolls out of the house. This was the final nail in the coffin and doesn't leave much of a chance for Einarson to get anything out of the end. Fleury is on clean-up duty and makes a beautiful run back. Not quite as the team intended, but a stellar outcome nonetheless. Homan continues to rip, and Einarson comes up light on another draw attempt. The team think it's probably a biter, but it doesn't make much difference to Homan's decision-making. She makes the nose hit, leaving Einarson a tricky double for 2, which likely jams anyway. Kerry has to take it on as it's only chance to stay remotely in the game, but throws and overcurls and gives another steal to Team Homan. And Team Einarson decides to shake right there. Big win for Rachel Homan and her team. They will go on to represent Canada at the upcoming World Women's Championships to defend their title. TV stats stated that Homan shot 100%, but I'm not sure even she would say that that's the case, but an amazing performance regardless. It's very difficult to beat a team and a skip shooting this well. Here's what Rachel Homan had to say.
What can you say about you and your teammates now, your 5th Scotties title?
This arena, thank you so much, guys. My team, unbelievable. You know, they stuck with it. We had some misses, but we pulled together. Huge sweeps, huge line calls when we needed it. And it's just an unbelievable performance by my team.
And for the first time ever, a perfect game in a Scotties final. And this is a familiar picture. For the 5th time, Homan is your national champion.